Well, a very good evening to you and a warm welcome to TV47 Weekend. Glad you could join us. My name is Musa Salah and these are some of the top stories making headlines tonight. Tonight, Chief Justice Martha Koome challenges National Assembly to actualize the implementation of the Judiciary Fund, decrying lack of financial independence. ODM leader Raila Odinga slams retired Chief Justice Willy Mutunga for his bold letter to President Uhuru Kenyatta on the judge's appointment row. Plus, confusion reigns in Wajir County as Mohamed Abdi and Ali Mukhtar jostle for the gubernatorial seat with two legal processes, putting both of them in power. And hundreds of people in Turkana East displaced, and an unknown number of livestock stolen by armed bandits. Welcome to the broadcast. Mini Mbesa is our sign language interpreter. TV47 Weekend begins right now. ODM leader Raila Odinga has criticized the letter to President by former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga pertaining judicial matters. Raila says Mutunga denied them justice despite having sufficient evidence on the 2013 election petition. Speaking at the burial of former Kibwezi Member of Parliament Kalembe Ndile, Raila Odinga, however, has cautioned the church leaders of indulging in BBI matters, saying BBI will be back soon. Sentiments echoed by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka and BBI proponents in attendance. Take a look.
BBI and 2022 politics took center stage at the burial of former Kibwezi Member of Parliament Kalembe Ndile. ODM boss Raila Odinga took a swipe at the former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga over his bold letter to President Uhuru Kenyatta. Raila says Mutunga has no moral authority whatsoever since he denied them justice in their 2013 general election petition.
Tukapeleka ile evidence yote kule mahakamani. Alafu wale wanapenda kusema ya kwamba ile ushahidi tumeleta imechelewa. Aliyesema haya si mwingine Willy Mutunga. Ndiye amesema. Tunaona yeye anaanza kusema ati yeye hakuna haki nini. Yeye mwenyewe alitukasimia sisi haki akiwa kama yeye ni Chief Justice.
Further, Raila has urged religious leaders to stay away from the BBI matters and leave that to politicians, sentiments echoed by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, who urged proponents of BBI to be patient while the courts take on the matter.
Mimi ni mtu wa Mkristo, lakini sisi tunaomba Wakristo na viongozi wa kanisa waache sisi kama wanasiasa tuangalie mambo ya siasa. Usiseme ya kwamba rege imesimama mahali simamishwe. Hiyo sio kazi ya watu wa kanisa. Wewe omba mambo yako kule, soma Biblia na kila kitu. Wache sisi tuendelee mbele. Kama rege itaendelea.
Court of Kenya and of course extension the Supreme Court. So I cannot comment on matters that are before the valid jurisdiction of the Court of Appeal. Kwa hivyo tungojee kwanza, tusianze kutoa malalamishi. By the way, sio mara ya kwanza kanisa ilikuwa na sauti juu ya Constitution 2010 na tukawasikiliza, lakini wananchi wa Kenya wakapitisha katiba ya 2010 ambayo imeleta mamlaka makubwa.
Lakini mimi nataka uliza, kuna barua aliandikia president akasema bunge is unconstitutional, inafaa ifunjwe. Sasa kitu bandia kama sisi ndio tena tu impeach president. Yeye mwenyewe amesema sisi ni bandia. Maraga alisema sisi ni the parliament as it is constituted today it's unconstitutional. Inafaa president dissolve parliament saa yote. Na the same Maraga anasema to impeach president. Sasa mimi sijui uzee.
The 2022 politics also found its way in the burial, which was attended by leaders from across the political divide. Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu urged the leaders to work in unity against their political challenger Deputy President William Ruto.
Na nyinyi mkikaa hapo mnajua hakuna mmoja wetu peke yake anaweza kuwa rais wa Kenya. Mkikosa kushikana mutashindwa na huyu mtu. na hatutaki kuingia kwa wheelbarrow. I do not want.
Lakini kuna wengine hapa wanatangatanga kila pahali ambayo wanapinga hiyo mambo. Wanataka pesa ibaki tu huko Nairobi ili wakule kila wakati. Sasa sisi tumeenda kotini, tunangoja mahakama imalizane na sisi, bado tutaendelea na mambo ya BBI.
The leaders mourned Kalembendile as the real hustler who had the interest of his people at heart.
Alikuwa patriot kamili ya Kenya. Alikuwa anaangalia mambo ya watu wadogo, watu wa chini. Manake yeye mwenyewe alitoka huko chini. Tutakuongea juu ya mambo ya hustler, hasa kamili kabisa ni Kalembendile.
Elizabeth Motuko, TV47.
Now away from politics and on to matters the judiciary, the 2021-2022 budgetary allocation has caused a stir in the judiciary, further widening the rift between the executive arm and the legal arm of the government. In Thursday's budget, Treasury allocated about 35.8 billion shillings to Parliament, about double what has been allocated to the legal arm of government. Now speaking during the swearing-in of the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice Daniel Musinga, Chief Justice Martha Koome has asked Parliament to consider implementing the formation of a judiciary fund that will help in solving the sibling rivalry between the two arms of government. Justice Daniel Musinga's assumption of office ceremony began with his guard of honor. As judges of various courts streamed into Supreme Court gardens before Musinga took his oath of office to become the third president of the Court of Appeal, taking over from Justice William Mouko, who was appointed judge of the Supreme Court.
I am committed to providing servant leadership that will enable the court deliver on its mandates in the challenging times we find ourselves in, but without compromising our shared values and principles.
Facing an underfunded institution, Chief Justice Martha Koome could not help but express her dissatisfaction with the 2021-2022 budget allocation that saw the judiciary pocket 17.6 billion shillings compared to Parliament's 37.6 billion shillings.
And of the 3.3 trillion planned, judiciary only got 17 billion. This has been the indicative budget amount for the judiciary for the first several years. Mr. Speaker, I note that even though the judiciary is decentralized across the country and employs over 5,000 staff, it is half of what your parliament gets. And we have no issue with what you get.
The Speaker is specifically banned from voting in Article 122 of the Constitution. It therefore means that the Speaker cannot even introduce even a comma to any proposal, to a motion, a bill, or any other, or a report. The Speaker's role is to see what has come mostly from the government side through the office of the Attorney General. If it generally meets the threshold, approve it. The rest is for members whom Kenyans have elected.
According to Koome, the budget cuts have had a spiral effect on the judiciary's projects, including the hiring of judges and other judicial officers.
We need funding to undertake the various activities, programs, projects that are required for us to discharge duty. You can see how dilapidated we are operating from this museum, which I've wondered why the Ministry of Health has not condemned it as unfit for human habitation. We have 36 other courts buildings that are almost complete but cannot be occupied because we have no money to complete those buildings. If we have to tackle the backlog of cases, if we have to adopt technology to enhance efficiency across the courts, if we have to improve the infrastructure, because it is imperative also for the judiciary to serve the public with dignity and taking justice closer to the people, increasing the speed of resolution of cases and coordination of the justice across, we require funds allocated to the judiciary.
Underfunding coupled with understaffing has made Kenyans wait for years before their cases are even heard or concluded.
For instance, a single judge currently serving in this court in Kisumu County also serves 9 other neighboring counties. And you wonder what quality of judgment or quality of justice such a judge would render, other than just hearing applications and granting orders.
The third arm of government, which has for the past few years been engaging in a push and pull fight with the executive, now wants the government to implement the judiciary fund that will help solve the long-standing feud between the two. According to Article 173 of the Constitution, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary should prepare and submit budget estimates for the judiciary to Parliament. If approved by the National Assembly, the Treasury must pay the approved allocation directly to the judiciary fund. Well, still on matters judiciary, 7 days later, unrelenting judiciary still sought the appointment of the 6th Judicial Service Commission nominees that President Uhuru Kenyatta failed to appoint over integrity issues. Now, during the swearing-in ceremony of the Court of Appeal President in Nairobi, Chief Justice Martha Koome questioned why these integrity concerns have not been raised to her.
Chief Justice Martha Koome has reaffirmed that President Uhuru Kenyatta has no option but to appoint the 6 remaining judges he left out during the swearing-in process at State House, Nairobi, a week ago. Outspoken Law Society of Kenya President Nelson HIVI also raised an alarm on the selective appointment of judges by Kenyatta. According to HIVI, failure to appoint Justices Joel Ngoge, George Odunga, Agri Muchelule and Weldon Korir to the Appellate Court is a reminder of the historical stalemate between the judiciary and the executive. Sentiments echoed by the Supreme Court President William Ouko. Also not making it to the list of appointees were Registrar Judith Omange and Chief Magistrate Evans Makori, both nominated to the Environment and Lands Court respectively. Uhuru only appointed 34 out of the 40 judges, excluding 6 on grounds of questionable integrity. However, the Office of the President has not made clear these allegations. Grace Josephine reporting for TV47.
Thank you, Grace Josephine, for that report. Well, keep talking to us. 22047 is our SMS line. You can also find us on social media at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, as well as at TV47K on Twitter. The hashtag to use is always TV47 Weekend. It's time to take a short commercial break, but we'll be back with more. Stay tuned.
Precast panels. We have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits. Convenient for story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
You just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music, pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas, because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yes, no.
And we're just like that. I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with me, Linda Alela.
All right, welcome back. You're watching TV47 Weekend. Moving on, MCAs in Bungoma County Assembly had to call off their session after deferring during the supplementary budget allocation debate. Some of the members support the budget, whereas their colleagues are against it. Mike Agwongo with the details.
Supremacy battles played out in Bungoma County Assembly during the supplementary budget debate, with a section of MCAs accusing House Speaker Emmanuel Situma of allegedly failing to follow the standing orders, as well as some workers going without pay, whereas their colleagues asked them to fight for the casual workers, but in line with House rules.
So I wanted the Speaker to give me a fair hearing over my matter. However, when I simply stood to speak, then the Speaker told me, I think he became a dictator in the chair. And he simply decided to tell me to sit because I was challenging his ruling.
Members allied to Governor Wycliffe Wangamati, led by Minority Leader Francis Chemion and his Deputy Bethel Mwambu, accused their colleagues for stifling development projects and the supplementary budget.
Na ni majukumu yetu sisi kama MCS kuhakikisha kwamba bajeti ikiletwa tuirekebishe, tuangalie maslahi. First charge ni pending bills, na pia tuhakikishe kwamba tumeweka mambo ya mshahara ya watumishi wa umma.
However, those perceived to be anti-Wangamati hit back, accusing their colleagues of colluding with the governor in embezzling public funds.
Exchequer ambayo tulipata as a county government of Bungoma, tulipata milioni 711 ambaye ilifaa ipatie watu mishahara, ipatie contractors pesa, lakini kwa ajili governor amepotoka, amekosa laini, amechukua zile pesa, ameanza kununua MCS ili waanze kufuruka assembly ili vitu zisonge mbele.
Sisi hatujakula kitu chochote kutoka kwa gavana. Wale wako huko kila wiki wako kwa mshahara ya 1500. Hiyo 1500 ndio inawafanya wanapepa matumbo yao, wanafikiria sisi tutaokopa.
Chwele Kabuchai Ward MCA Barasa Muhongo, Mitua Soisambu Stephen Wamalwa, Tony Barasa of Rwantanyi, among others, want the budget for the next financial year to be tabled, but not any other budget.
Ikiwa saa hizi tunasema kwamba mishahara haipo, lazima watu wa Bungoma mjiulize, ile pesa ambayo ilikadiriwa na ikawekwa kulipa mishahara ilienda wapi?
You cannot tell us kwamba sasa unaleta petition ya second supplementary kupitia ugali kuku MCS kufikiri sisi ni wajinga. We are giving you ultimatum kwamba casuals wetu na wale contractors, we need them to be paid as yesterday.
Mpakalo MCA Bethel Mwambu, whom the speaker banned from attending 16 sessions, maintains the speaker does not have any powers to exercise such authority.
I am on the wrong because I did what I'm supposed to do. It's just because I brought the motion. So I've been told I'm not supposed to be in the presence of the county assembly for the next 16 sittings.
For TV47 from Bungoma, I'm Mike Kagwango.
Well, thank you, Mike Agwongo, for that report. Now, the fight for Wajir County gubernatorial seat continues to take center stage weeks after Ambassador Mohamed Abdi Mohamud's ouster was confirmed by the Senate. The newly sworn-in Governor Ahmed Ali Mukhtar has already begun carrying out his duties and has already done cabinet reshuffles. And on Wednesday this week, the High Court issued orders staying the ouster of Mohamud. And as Issa-Din Haji now reports, it is sheer confusion in Wajir County.
As the two political sides in Wajir County take each other on, the ousted Governor Ambassador Mohamed Abdi Mahmoud continuously hangs on the court orders, staying his ouster by the County Assembly and before the reaffirmation of his impeachment at the Senate.
This is impunity of the highest order. Previously, the last 3 or 4 court orders were issued by one judge. But because the matter was really weighty and serious, the CJ decided to appoint 3-judge bench at Meru.
The newly appointed Chief Justice Martha Koome appointed a 3-judge bench to hear the case filed by Ambassador Mohamed Abdi Mahmoud pertaining to disregard of a court order issued during his impeachment process. His former Deputy Governor Ahmed Ali Mukhtar, who was sworn in, has repeatedly asked his former boss to move on. Members of Wajir County Assembly have this morning urged the former county boss to cease from misleading the people of Wajir.
My message to the former governor is one, that he has served to the best of his ability, which history will tell it. But now his young brother, who was his deputy, has taken over. He's doing exceptional work. We would like him to render him the support he needs.
Na kabla hatujamng'atua, tulikuwa tumeshaka naye mara nyingi sana tukimwambia malalamishi ya wananchi na shida ya Wajir, lakini yeye mwenyewe hakuweza kutimiza yale yalikuwa natarajiwa kutoka kwake.
Wajir members of County Assembly claim that the former governor is eyeing to derail service delivery and they want investigative agencies to intervene in the matter and help Wajir residents account for their former regime's activities.
The former governor is fighting a battle he has already lost because he knows his next big nightmare is how to stay away from prison, because we are calling upon the investigative agencies to move with speed and recover the billions of shillings stolen from the county coffers, which we have already provided leads in the impeachment proceedings.
The Council of Governors has stood in solidarity with Abdi Mahmoud, claiming that the threshold for impeaching a governor has to critically be looked into in order to not create confusion in counties. Ambassador Mohamed Abdi Mahmoud claims he is still the governor of Wajir County and he is mandated to deliver according to the Kenyan Constitution.
For us to have law and order, there must be systems, there must be organizations, entities that are required to keep law and order. Those who are supposed to enforce the law, those who are supposed to, like the judiciary, their role is to ensure that court orders are obeyed.
Ousted Wajir Governor Mohamud claims that the import of the 3-bench judge on Wednesday was that the entire finding and resolution of the Senate to remove him in office was rendered ineffective. Meanwhile, the sworn-in Governor Ahmed Ali Mukhtar has already done cabinet reshuffles and signed a 271 million Kenya shillings supplementary budget to run the county. The power tussle between the two parties is continuously causing confusion among the residents of Wajir County, with some not confident on who to call their rightful governor before the court rules on the matter. Issa-Din Haji, TV47, Wajir County.
Well, quite an interesting report there by our very own Issa-Din Haji, of course. Keep talking to us. 22047 is our SMS line. You can also find us on social media at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, as well as at TV47 on Twitter. Now, Somaliland Foreign Affairs Minister Libani Yusuf Osman has reiterated that Somaliland is a sovereign state, contrary to reports that it is in the process of ceding from Somalia. The minister made this pronunciation during the inauguration of the Kenya-Somaliland Parliamentary Caucus in Nairobi.
Speaking in Nairobi during the first ever inauguration of the Kenya-Somaliland Parliamentary Caucus, the Somaliland Foreign Affairs Minister Liban Yusuf Osman stated that Somaliland is a sovereign state ready to engage other countries in bilateral relations.
Somaliland has fulfilled all the criteria and requirements of statehood. Somaliland has defined borders. Somaliland has permanent population. Somaliland has the power and the authority to go into contracts. So Somaliland will help Somalia. And recognizing Somaliland, we believe, will help Somalia.
On his part, Garissa Governor Ali Korane called for dialogue between the two countries to ensure lasting peace that has been elusive for a long time.
That is where Somaliland should be. But the route to that recognition is not an easy one, and it's one which needs a lot of thinking. It's not one which can be brought about by how much the viability of the state, whether economic, security, or democratic.
Also present at the inauguration of the Kenya-Somaliland Parliamentary Caucus were former anti-corruption chief John Gidongo and former Alego Member of Parliament Peter Oloaringo, who called for credible elections across the African continent.
You cannot cheat this illiterate voter and take away their vote. And that's why I say, when you have that spirit inside the people, that sense of honor, that sense of being honest, that is the software. The software is working.
Leaders must know when to quit. Don't just be there until you are a vegetable, like happened in Malawi. I am doing some work in Malawi now with Malawi parliamentarians. But there was a time when Dr. Bana was being carried in a stretcher and campaigning for presidency while being carried in a stretcher. Now that to me was humiliating. We must know when to quit.
The inauguration of the Kenya-Somaliland Parliamentary Caucus, which will be chaired by Ijara Member of Parliament Sophia Abdinur, comes barely 2 weeks after the general election in Somaliland in May 2021, where Musa Bihi Abdi was elected the new president. Daniel Masiza, TV47.
Well, Daniel Masiza's report takes us to a short commercial break, but before we take that break, I want just to take a quick look at what some of your comments on social media. Dennis Kibiwot says he's tuned in from Kituri Solai, as well as Kelvin Karanta watching TV47 News at 9 p.m. Clinton Ngitamo as well. Keep talking to us. 22047 is our SMS line. You can also find us on social media at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, as well as at TV47K on Twitter. The hashtag to use is always TV47 Weekend. It's time to take a short commercial break, but remember, you can follow this live broadcast on www.tv47.co.ke. Stay tuned.
Global Precast Panels, we have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your needs. Manufactured under a controlled environment, we have the best precast concrete panels, precast concrete floor slabs, precast concrete perimeter wall, precast concrete columns and beams. Our panels reduce construction cost by up to 40% with absolutely no plaster required, including added soundproof benefits, convenient four-story buildings, schools, offices, residential houses, hospitals, and warehouses. Take advantage of our free transport. Contact us on 0702 24 7267 or 0796 24 7267. Global Precast Panels Limited, your reliable option for efficient construction.
These are the sights and sounds of a working nation. There are no shortages to remarkable ideas. What's missing is the will to execute them.
You need to stay relevant. If you don't, you're going to fade off.
Yes, they are a dime in a dozen, but the real meat on these bones comes from trying to realize them.
We just need to perfect anything. If it's drawing, if it's music, pursue it 100% because it's something that is giving back.
Join me, Violet Njoki, as I tell you the stories of these executed ideas, because yours could be next. Mondays, 7:30 p.m.
Hey, now that's hitting the right notes. When life gets boring, we bring out our play. You see, playfulness is in our DNA. It's in the way we move and laugh. It's in the way we walk, the way we rock, and how we just don't stop. You feel me? We add color to everything, to every day and every dish, because the world needs our crazy. We're the different flavors that make life more exciting. We're the ones who add color to every moment. Fanta, color every moment.
Well, the speaker is neither here nor there.
I should have done my outro from here.
Yes, no.
And we're just like that. I look beautiful.
Tune in to Morning Cafe, Mondays to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. with me, Linda Alela, only on TV47, the home of Untold Stories.
Raukia siku njema na tunukiwa offers kila siku. Pata offers zote mahali pa
Welcome back, you're watching TV47 Weekend. Now moving on, Kenya's today recorded 488 new cases from a sample size of 5,831, bringing the total to about 174,773. Now the positivity rate stands at 8.4% with 3,308 deaths and 118,226 recoveries so far. Now elsewhere, police in Kisii County have launched a crackdown on hotels, bars and individuals caught contravening COVID-19 prevention protocols. Kisii County Commissioner Alan Machari has singled out bar operators as the most notorious floaters of COVID-19 regulations. Elsewhere in Siaya County, positivity rate has spiked to 27%, prompting County Emergency Response Committee to bar politicians from attending funerals.
That some of you are not observing the laid down COVID-19 protocols.
Sehemu za mazishi na maombelezi ndio zinaleta tatizo kubwa sana. Kivipi? Viongozi, wananchi wa Siaya wanapenda viongozi yao. Na wakiwaona lazima waende wawasalimie.
The county government of Siaya, through the Department of Health and Sanitation, will liaise with the Ministry of Health in the national government and other partners to support provision of adequate testing kits to allow for enhanced testing at all major private and public health facilities throughout the week. With that, all elected leaders, opinion leaders, and faith-based organizations are hereby prevailed upon to take the lead in supporting the County Emergency Response Committee in our effort to contain the spread of the virus in the county by being risk communication champions and also by limiting their participation in activities that attract public gatherings.
Now switching gears to matters the budget, a day after presenting to the country the financial budget 2021-2022, Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury Ukur Yatani has this evening met the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning to consider the bill at a Naivasha hotel. Our reporter Willie Dennis Njiru just left that meeting and prepared the following report.
Highlighting the economic policy context of the financial year 2021-2022, the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Ukur Yatani says that the budget has been prepared against a background of a projected global economic recovery amidst uncertainty relating to new COVID-19 mutations that could require broader reinstatement of containment measures.
We were asked by Finance Committee to come and clarify certain areas. And we've had very good engagement. There were a number of issues. And we are just basically restarting what we said yesterday. And it's now up to the committee to look at them from a position of more knowledge, because they just wanted that explanation.
What we've seen is a lot of the tax measures have remained the same essentially. Overall, from this finance bill, knocking off what has been exempted vis-a-vis what is being taxed should raised just about 1.3 billion.
Economic growth estimates slowed down to 0.6% in 2020 from 5.4% in 2019. The emergence of new COVID-19 variants in Kenya and its trading partners lowers agricultural outputs due to potential adverse weather conditions and increased public expenditure, being pressures that would put a strain to the fiscal space.
We are giving a lot of tax reliefs on locally assembled motor vehicles, at the same time also motorcycles. And we spelled it very clearly yesterday. And as a result of those incentives, a number of motorcycles and motor vehicles have started assembling here.
The government is keenly monitoring developments internationally in order to curate appropriate policy measures in safeguarding the economy against the adverse effects.
If there's going to be any reason as to why the committee have a different position, we've agreed to re-engage.
The responsibility is now with Parliament. Treasury can only convince us that what they have proposed makes sense, and that's why we have had discussions up to this hour.
In order to curtail the negative effects arising from betting activities that have become widespread in the society, the bill proposes to reintroduce the excise duty at the rate of 20%.
And now it's even extending starter costs to our mothers. You know, you call, somebody tells you, bet, you are going to get these additional resources. No, we want to discourage. And if they want to be in business, let them pay for it. Let them pay for it, the companies, and even individuals who choose to bet. Let that pain that you are doing at a cost that you cannot manage is what we want to achieve.
The question was whether we proceed with it as it is or we shift the burden to the companies. So it's still discussion. It's still under discussion.
The bill proposes to empower the cabinet secretary responsible for finance to grant an exemption on imports declaration fee or IDF and railway development levy based on public interest or to promote investments above 5 billion shillings in order to guard the revenue base that was being eroded when the threshold was 200 million shillings.
Some Kenyans think that because the budget was read yesterday, it's fait accompli. It's not. The finance bill has to be passed by Parliament. It may, and it is unlikely that it will be in its original form.
Ukur Yatani spoke on the sideline of meeting between the National Treasury and the Department Committee on Finance and National Planning in Naivasha.
The Committee of Finance and National Planning remains here throughout the weekend. Their findings to be tabled before Parliament next week. For TV47 from Naivasha in Nakuru County, I'm Willie Dennis Njiru.
Well, thank you, Willie Dennis Njiru, for that detailed report on matters the finance bill. Now, as the government rolls out the universal healthcare program, which is one of the biggest pillars of the Big Four agenda, it has emerged that 60% of the residents of Trans Nzoia County are not enrolled on any health insurance cover, which hinders them from accessing quality healthcare. Our reporter Boniface Barasa with the details.
Janet Cheki, who is a community health worker within Birunda village in Nabiso ward, narrates the ordeal most residents who are poor have to go through while seeking medication.
kama sisi community health volunteers, unapata ya kwamba mtu amegonjeka, hana pesa za matibabu, inatakikana afike hospitali lakini hawezi kabisa. Unapomjisaidia afike mahali pale, wanasema kwamba pesa ni lazima ziweko. Sasa unapata kwamba mtu huyo hata hakuna faida ulimtoa nyumbani kumfikisha mahali pale.
Tuko na shida kubwa kwa sababu ukienda hospitali wanakuambia leta kadi, kama hakuna kadi lipa pesa. Sasa hii itatusaidia kwa muda.
Nakuta kwamba magonjwa yanapokuja watu wanakufa hata ugonjwa wenye mtu hangekufa.
What is evident is the fact that most of the residents lack knowledge on the government's universal health coverage program. Amos Kipkoech is the branch manager of the National Hospital Insurance Fund, NHIF, in Trans Nzoia County.
The coverage is, I think, almost 40% of the population, but we are doing a lot in terms of sensitizing the members of the public to make sure that they register with NHIF, because that is where we are heading to. UHC is whereby we want every Kenyan to make sure every Kenyan to have an NHIF card, so that when they go to the hospital, they're able to use their cards.
The situation has led to a move by the area county government through the area MCA Martin Jamanur to launch an initiative to offer an 8-month NHIF insurance cover for the elderly and the vulnerable within the ward.
We are looking at the most vulnerable people in the community. Those are the elderly one, above 60, and those with conditions that are health conditions. Zile zinasumbua sana kama pressure, sukari, na pia tunaangalia well those single parents.
The chairman of the budget committee at the County Assembly of Trans Nzoia, David Kisaka, underscores the need to have the UHC program rolled out across the county.
We are encouraging other members of the County Assembly pia it should be a universal thing across the county. Na changamoto ninajua ni kubwa ni kwamba most of the people here are not able to continually pay for that services. So tunakaa chini saizi ndio wakati wa bajeti tuweze kutenga pesa pia katika serikali yetu ndio iwe it should be a recurrent thing.
Bonfas Barasa, TV47, Nabiswa Ward, Kiminini Sub-County, Trans Nzoia County.
Now, moving on, the Kenyan Navy has today received a multi-purpose training facility from the British High Commissioner Jane Marriott and Denmark Ambassador in what shall be a new revamped skill set equipping exercise through the formation of a lifelong relationship between the three partners. Now, Defense Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma oversaw the handover.
It is the drill of what happens at sea, showcasing some of the skills the Navy shall receive under the traineeship of the British and Denmark Army, locally and abroad.
The Kenya Navy instructors going to Denmark, I believe already this autumn, to receive training to carry out the instructions here in Kenya. And I hope the weather is still warm enough for the instructors from Kenya going to Denmark. So please don't send them too late in autumn.
Defense Cabinet Secretary Monica Juma says that the facility is just the beginning of Kenya realizing the set SDGs and President Uhuru Kenyatta's vision to invest more in the blue economy.
Having a well-trained manpower in the maritime field like anywhere else will immensely support the aspirations of exploiting maritime resources in tandem with our President's vision. It will also create employment for our youth in the international maritime labor market once the skills are successfully transferred.
The British High Commissioner Jane Marriott promised that her government and Kenya shall continue to collaborate and enhance their relationship to achieve a competitive pedestal. Marriott says Kenya will soon benefit from a hefty UK warship donation to the port of Mombasa to train and conduct maneuvers with the Kenya Navy.
We hope to bring UK subject matter experts to Mtongwe Naval Base to work with the Kenya Navy this summer to ensure that the necessary levels of safety and competency are achieved prior to seeking this IMO accreditation. And I'm also delighted that the unit will not only be used to support firefighting training, but also vessel board search and seizure.
The new special multifunctional drill training facility will equip the Kenya Navy with much-needed security know-how at sea, search and seize of vessels, and battle readiness whenever need may arise. Mariam Wacharo, TV47, Mombasa County.
Well, thank you, Mariam Wacharo, for that report. Now, cancer has been a leading killer disease, with Meru County topping nationally in cancer prevalence. Meru residents have been urged to embrace routine screening for cancer to enable early diagnosis and timely treatment. John Kiania has the details.
As cancer cases continue to rise sharply in Meru County, residents have been urged to go for screening in order to arrest the disease at its early stages. The call was made by Minister of Health in Meru County after launching a cancer screening exercise for locals at Githongo Sub-County Hospital.
So today, among the CSRs that we undertake, we had organized with the Meru County to carry out the medical camp, ensure that the Meru people, and specifically the residents of Githongo, come and get screened. Those who have issues with cancers, they'll have an opportunity at the early stages to get it addressed and treatment undertaken.
You know, the problem with cancer is when you catch it late. Once you get to stage 4, it's a life sentence. But stage 1, stage 2, it is possible to even reverse it. Yeah, that's why screening is very, very, very important.
In addition, members of the public have been encouraged to focus on good nutrition and exercise in order to protect themselves from diseases associated with the sedentary lifestyles.
One of the main challenges we have encountered in the department is the increase of so many cancer cases in Meru, and the challenge we have been encountering in Meru is late diagnosis of this disease, because in most of the cases the disease is diagnosed in stage 3 and stage 4, which are very problematic to control.
In Meru County, bladder, esophageal and stomach cancers rank highly. Statistics show that cancer is almost evenly distributed across genders, with men accounting for 49% and women 51%. The World Health Organization (WHO) says cancer is the leading cause of death for 1 in 6 people in the world. Up to 50% of all cancers can be prevented. John Javakiania, TV47, Meru County.
Well, thank you so much, John Kiania, for that detailed report. Keep talking to us. 22047 is our SMS line. You can also find us on social media at TV47 Kenya on Facebook, as well as at TV47K on Twitter. The hashtag to use, of course, is TV47 Weekend. It's time to take a look at what is happening in the world of sports, and our sportsman Dennis Otieno is on standby on the other side of the studio. Good evening, Dennis. What do you have for us this evening?
Well, good evening to you too, Musa Salah. Now, tonight, we shall be telling you about the Kabras racing team and how they've prepared for the 2021 Safari Rally. We shall also be giving you a progress of the inoculation program of all footballers in the country. We shall also be telling you about the Euro 2020, which is beginning tonight, and what to expect from that competition. Now, this and more coming up.
Precast panels. We have the best quality, durable and affordable precast panels to suit all your